is ZeBirdBrain, and today we are talking about sound in storyboards because yes, it's February again, and this means the next couple of tutorials are going to be dedicated to Storyboard Pro. So last week we learned how to import audio, today we're going to learn how to manipulate that audio. So like I said, last time I showed you that you could record your sound. It's very easy, you just click on your soundtrack, you right click, and you get a record sound option. Then you can just record your sound, blah blah blah, we are super, we're going to kick your butt. Then I give it a name. And once you have this audio, I showed you that you could make the sound higher, make it lower. And you can also press on Alt to kind of alter these little waveform, this little sound line. This is not new information. And by the way, when you do these kind of sound edits, I do prefer to have my track be larger. So you can right click and you can change the track size to large. And this makes it much easier to edit the sound line here. You can also use 1 and 2 to zoom in and out of your timeline, but that's not new. The logo is also here. Whoop, whoop. So, having your sound be big like that makes it easy. And of course, don't forget to activate the waveform. Without the waveform, I'm always lost. So I prefer having the waveform. So everything I'm gonna say here applies to both imported sound or just sounds you recorded. If you right click, you can go to audio gain, and then you can either set the gain to this or you can adjust the gain by a certain amount. It just depends on what you want. So do you want to set your gain specifically to 6 dB, or do you want to adjust it to make it more like what you have now plus 6 dB? So it just depends on what you need. You can also change the speed duration. For example,
in my video, when I do my editing, I take my voice and I set it to 120%.
So it's just a little faster, not too much. And you can choose to preserve the audio pitch. If I chose to preserve the audio pitch on my video,
it would sound kind of like my tone, but faster.
I don't want that. I like to have the higher voice when I do these videos, so just so you know, that's what it is. The other thing you can do that is very interesting is use the effects stack. So the effects stack is a new view that was introduced in Storyboard Pro 20, if I'm not mistaken. You just have to go to the plus sign here, find effect stack. Boop. You can also go to Windows and find the effect stack. I just never do it that way. I don't know why. And then here you have the gain that you can adjust, which is the basic effect. But then into the corner here, you're gonna find a little FX with a plus sign. If you click here, you have a bunch of other effects that you can use. So from balance to delay to high pass filter, low pass filter, pitch shift, reverb, volume. If you want to know exactly what these do, this is where the documentation is really useful. Let me just go get it for you. Whoop. So if you go to this page, you can just go down and yeah, you're gonna find all the different effects that you can use, such as the high pass, the low pass, and yeah, they all have a definition there, so you can just read it. It's gonna help you out. I just have 5 minutes today, so I don't have all the time to show you all of these. But one thing that is very fun to have is a pitch shift. So this can maybe take your voice and make it sound either deeper or higher. You can add reverb, which is gonna kind of make it sound a bit more like if you're in a cave. Yeah, so a lot of these things can be very useful. So I'm just going to use the reverb as my example. So you can just click on it. It's going to add it here. If you want to hear it, you check it. If it's unchecked, it's not going to be heard. This is very useful if you get to have many different effects at the same time. Be mindful, the order in which you have these effects is going to change because maybe you're going to pitch shift the reverb or reverb the pitch shift. So the order in which they are matters, just so you know. And then if I press on the triangle here, you can open these sounds and work with these. So that's where I'm the documentation is gonna be very helpful to help you use all of those. But if I go here, pitch shift is pretty easy. You can just click and drag to change it. You can also input the exact parameter that you want, and it's pretty easy to play with those. And then that clip now has effects. You can see it by clicking on the little sound clip, and then into the effects stack is gonna show you these effects. If I click on another clip, I'm not gonna see these effects. So yeah, this is how you use the effect stack, and I hope this is going to be helpful to you guys, and I'll see you again next week. Bye now!